Right. Um, Good evening, everyone. Let me call this uh, hearing to order. This is a public hearing on PUC docket number 2024-0158, Hawaii Gas's application for approval of rate increases and revised rate schedules and rules. My name is Leo Asuncion. I'm the chair of the PUC, and I'm joined by Commissioner Naomi Kuaye and Commissioner Colin Yos. We are also joined by Michael Angelo from the Division of Consumer Advocacy. Tonight's hearing will be recorded and later be transcribed by a court reporter. Just a reminder, those on WebEx, if you wish to testify, make sure that you just type in the chat that you want to testify. If you are here present, make sure that you have signed up at our sign-in desk, and staff will bring your names up to me, and I'll call you in the order that we have them. State law requires that the commission hold a public hearing whenever a public utility proposes a rate increase. The commission published a notice of tonight's public hearing in the Honolulu Star Advertiser on October 4th, 11th, 18th, and 23rd. The commission also filed the public hearing notice in its publicly accessible database, CDMS, on September 30th, 2024. Hawaii Gas's requests are described in more detail in the company's application filed on July 26, 2024, and in the hearing notice. In general, Hawaii Gas is requesting commission approval of the following: a revenue increase, a total revenue increase of $24,346,000, or approximately 17.67% increase over revenue at current effective rates for the normalized test year 2025. They are also requesting approval of tariff changes, revisions to its rate schedules and rules, and approval of a main upgrade program and insurance premium recovery rider, as well as other relief as may be just and reasonable under the circumstances. Tonight's hearing on docket number 2024-0158, the purpose of this hearing is for the commission to take testimony, not to answer questions about the application. However, both Hawaii Gas and the Division of Consumer Advocacy are available if you have any questions for them at the conclusion of the hearing. As I noted, the scope of the public hearing is limited to the issues listed at the outset of the hearing and that are included in Hawaii Gas's application. Some ground rules for testifying. Hawaii Gas will be given 5 minutes to discuss their application, and the consumer advocate will be given 5 minutes to explain its role in the process and present any testimony. All other testifiers will have 3 minutes to present testimony at this hearing. I'll note that testifiers may not give all or any portion of their allotted time to another testifier. And all testifiers, whether or not tonight or online or thereafter, you may submit your comments in writing to the commission by email or by regular mail. Please reference docket number 2024-0158. I'll have staff for those online put our email address as well as our mailing address up, but I will also read them. You can email them to us at puc@hawaii.gov, or you can mail the comments to the Public Utilities Commission at 465 South King Street, room 103, Honolulu, Hawaii, 96813. And we'll repeat that information at the end of the hearing as well. If you are testifying this evening, at the beginning of your testimony, please identify yourself, state whether you are testifying on behalf of an organization or as an individual, and state whether you support or oppose Hawaii Gas's requests. And we'll go in this order. Hawaii Gas will go first, followed by the Division of Consumer Advocacy. And anyone from the public who has signed up to testify will start with those here present in our hearing room, and then we'll go to those on WebEx if there's anyone that wishes to testify. So let me turn it over to Ms. Moy from Hawaii Gas, and you have 5 minutes. I think you just need to flip that up in the front. Sorry.
Is this on?
It's on?
It's on?
Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
great. Good evening, Chair Asuncion, Commissioner Kauai, Commissioner Yost, and members of the public in attendance tonight. My name is Alicia Moy, and I'm the President and CEO of Hawaii Gas. Let me begin by saying on behalf of all of our 350 employees statewide that we understand that rate increases have a significant impact on working families and local businesses that may already be struggling to make ends meet. While it's never an easy decision to ask our customers to pay more, we will be providing some additional information tonight about why a rate increase after 7 years is necessary. First, this is the first base rate increase that Hawaii Gas has requested since its 2018 test year rate case, which was well before the pandemic. What this has meant for our customers is that they've experienced very stable gas base rates for the last 7 years, despite serious challenges that affected both our community and economy during the pandemic. We have worked hard to manage costs over the past 7 years to keep our request for a rate increase to a modest level. To put this rate increase into perspective, on an average statewide, the proposed increase works out to the equivalent of about 2.5% per year since our last rate case, which is less than the rate of inflation over the same time period. Second, we have made significant investments in the company's infrastructure to ensure its continued safety and reliability for our customers and community. These investments are critical for the long-term reliability and resiliency of our energy system in order to continue to support our community, both during normal operations, as well as during power outages and recovery from natural disasters. These investments have helped ensure that our customers can count on us to continue to provide uninterrupted service for their day-to-day energy needs, which includes essentials like cooking and having hot water when you need it. These investments in our system will also allow us to accommodate increasing amounts of renewable fuels to support the long-term sustainability of our energy system in alignment with the state's climate goals. Third, we know that we are facing a future that will feel the increasing impacts of climate change. We have committed to do our part to help the state achieve its goal of carbon neutrality by 2045 and are working hard to further decarbonize our fuel mix. We have made investments in projects to reduce the carbon intensity of our fuels with renewable natural gas and other locally produced clean fuels, as well as focus on investments to improve our resiliency to support the community, such as working towards future-proofing our pipeline network to accommodate the fuels of the future. Fourth, like many other businesses, we've experienced significant increases in our operations and maintenance costs, insurance, as well as labor costs over the last 7 years. We have prepared a PowerPoint presentation entitled Hawaii Gas Rate Proceeding Oahu Public Presentation dated October 25th, 2024, that we are submitting as part of the record today for those that would like additional detail on the main drivers of our request to increase base rates. Some of you may be wondering how the proposed rates, if approved, will affect you. For residential customers on Oahu who consume an average of 10 therms a month, your bill will increase by about $14 a month, from $60 to about $74 a month. We know that any rate increase is difficult given the high cost of living in Hawaii. We do offer a variety of resources to those who anticipate difficulty in paying their energy bills, including payment plan arrangements and referral to and administrative filing with low-income assistance programs and agencies. We appreciate and consider input from the general public and invite those of you in attendance tonight and online to share your views. We plan to stay after the formal part of this meeting to answer additional questions that you may have. And in the interest of permitting more time for the public to ask questions, this will conclude my comments, and mahalo for your time this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moy. Paula Michelangelo from the Division of Consumer Advocacy up next.
Good evening, Chair Asuncion, Commissioner Kauai, Commissioner Yost, and members of the community. My name is Michelangelo, and I serve as the Executive Director of the Division of Consumer Advocacy in the Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs, also known as the Consumer Advocate. The consumer advocate represents the interests of consumers in regulated public utility and transportation matters before the Public Utilities Commission, or also known as the Commission, by advocating for the provision of safe and reliable utility services delivered cost effectively, equitably, and in alignment with the state's clean energy and climate goals. I'm here this evening to listen to the community's comments and concerns regarding the gas company doing business as Hawaii Gas request to the Commission for a rate increase and revised rate schedules and rules in this matter. Hawaii Gas requests include a total revenue increase of $24.36 million, or approximately 17.67% increase over revenue at current rates. The company further seeks approval of a rate of return of 9.05% on rate base, revisions to its rate schedules and rules, and approval of 2 tariff riders. Consumer Advocate will independently review the reasonableness of Hawaii Gas's requested rate increases and revised rate schedules and rules. As part of our analysis, we will conduct discovery, where we will request data information to evaluate the company's support for the requested rate increases and revised rate schedules and rules. Then, later in this proceeding, we will submit the results of our analysis and recommendations to the Commission for their decision on Hawaii Gas's requested relief. Tonight, however, we are here to listen to the community's concerns and comments regarding the proposed rate increases and revised rate schedules and rules. Any concerns and comments that you may have are an important part of our evaluation of Hawaii Gas's request. We encourage the public to express your opinions to the Commission and our office regarding Hawaii Gas's proposal and the impact that the requested relief might have on you if the Commission approves the requested increase. This will assist both our office and the Commission in our work. As we move forward, please feel free to contact the Consumer Advocate's office at any time to share your thoughts, concerns, and questions regarding this or any other utility matter. Thank you for the opportunity to offer these comments, and our contact information can be reached by mail at Post Office Box 541, Honolulu, Hawaii, 96809, email at dca@dcca.hawaii.gov, and phone at 586-2800. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Angelo. Next up is Michael Miller.
Aloha, Commissioners. My name is Michael Miller from Tiki's Grill and Bar. We're locally owned and operated business in Waikiki. Also on behalf of the 4,000 restaurants and food service outlets for the Hawaii Restaurant Association. A lot of people, I'll be honest, I know that everyone did their due diligence in posting the notifications and everything as what's required. However, I just became aware of it yesterday when I was asked for comment about it. So I've submitted written testimony from Tiki's and for the Restaurant Association. We're really concerned on how this is going to affect not just a large business, but a lot of small mom and pops. This, amongst many other types of increases, is very scary for a lot of the operators that are out there, and we have to make different business decisions, just like the gas company has to make different business decisions to do things differently in order to survive in today's economy. Although their hands are tied in certain ways, just like any other business, you have to look at your P&L, you have to look at what you're doing and how you're doing it and make other adjustments. We can't go to our consumers and ask for the rate and tariff increases and expect them to still do business with us. So we understand it's a different business model, and we respect the monopoly that they do have, but it is a very large concern of the amount of the increase. We expect something to go through, but the massive amount all at once is very scary for a lot of restaurants. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. And last one I have here is Ted Mitros. Sorry if I butchered that last name.
I'm Ted Metros, independent. I am a petroleum engineer and an MBA. I used to work for PAR Hawaii Refining, principal supplier to Hawaii Gas. And I'm here because I have learned things over time that can perhaps reduce the cost of some of the gas that needs to be distributed. And I think every opportunity should be taken. I don't work for PAR anymore because I filed a suit against them because they alleging that they had not paid their taxes. And the Attorney General saw sufficient merit in that such that they intervened in the case. The case is still ongoing. One of the things that I learned through the process because of robust, really unsupported claims for the FTC, PAR was charging Hawaii Gas excise taxes, not just wholesale excise taxes, but retail excise taxes at 4.5%. And then subsequently dismissing those taxes because the charges were between two foreign subzones. 4.5% added on the cost of the SNG feedstocks stocks is rather substantial and probably translates to 3 to 4% in terms of potential savings. And I don't believe either Hawaii Gas or PAR Hawaii have taken measures or step yet to eliminate that tax. There's really not much dispute as to whether those taxes are applicable. The taxes are not applicable. Hawaii Gas's own testimony stated taxes and duties are in fact paid on the finished products once they leave the foreign trade zone. So here you have PAR Hawaii charging taxes, adding cost and burden to the cost of fuel, which is also ultimately passed on to Hawaii Gas customers that receive SNG pipeline gas. So I think it's unreasonable to request an increase on rates when a rather simple measure might reduce the cost of gas, perhaps 3%. Oahu's looking at 19.4% increase. This, because it represents the SNG represents the bulk of the supply, might drop things down to, I don't know, 16%, maybe 17%. So that really needs to be investigated. There's been some hesitation to pursue these options, but now is the time before rate increases go through. The excise tax is a burden on everyone. I was surprised to see in the application that Hawaii Gas, the CPA testimony that they provided said Hawaii Gas doesn't pay any excise taxes or that they're linked to the revenue sources. At any rate, whether they are adding those taxes or not, a question I've asked and not had answers on just yet. If Hawaii Gas can eliminate the taxes, they can reduce the magnitude of the request they are asking for a rate increase. And that should be investigated. It's been going on for more than 3 years now. That opportunity is before us, and that little item should be resolved in conjunction with the Department of Tax. And I do make myself available for additional questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mitros. I'm gonna check if there are any people online, either on WebEx or possibly on the phone. None?
Sorry, wait. I'm sorry. Can we submit testimony?
Sure. Mr. Andrews, I believe.
Yes.
And this is for the Hawaii Gas docket, right?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you go
Okay.
ahead?
Okay. Good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. My name is Sean Andrews, and I'm a resident of Penakee and Waipio Gentry, and a Hawaii Gas customer. I am here to express my opposition to the proposed rate hike. I have reviewed the company's application and supporting materials, and I am not convinced that the proposed rate is justified. The current compounding crisis in the area is not a legitimate argument for exploitation and pricing. Utility gas is not to be the proxy for wealthy-seeking investment groups. The residential customer numbers don't grow because of non-efforts by Hawaii Gas, and that is not valid reasoning for hikes. While not obvious to all, the public necessity paid by residents is for assured product support, not the portfolio surety of others. Basic needs in daily life and the enjoyment of life are all tied to gas for gas customers. Change in utility is not like other home expenses. We can't change major appliances into utilities like we change our telecarrier plans or any other things that the PUC oversees. This is a sector specific issue and highlights the coercive and discriminatory practices that the PUC enforce against. Rate hike like this will harm 100% of the citizens who use this gas, no matter the size of that population. A strategy to recoup losses resulting from transitions out of pandemic era revenue is perverse to the public good. And an effort to make more permanent the hyperinflation that occurred does nobody any good. Utility is not a luxury. Fighting against pricing discrimination is a part of our civic duty. The PUC is entrusted with the power of adjudication. The limited scale and targeted pricing are unreasonable and at this moment unaffordable. And Hawaii Gas's arguments are unsubstantiated with conflated evidence in the affirmative. Approval of such a rate hike erodes the PUC integrity. Year-over-year increases in the cost of living are a threat to all citizens on the island and in the state. Cannot allow the fortunes of opportunity to be based on an oligarchy and a monopoly. A society where only a few can afford competitive pricing is a no-win situation. Solutions are available to Hawaii Gas Company. We, the customers who have been billed for those investments and solutions for years, and should not be held responsible because a failure in fruition is not the fault of the customers. The regulations that the PUC enforces and hands down were meant to protect businesses from other businesses, but they have evolved to encompass the prevention of government-allowed exploitation. We all live in a society where the rule of law stems from the core value of property and trade as a tangible form of freedom. Money is just as tangible and in need of protection as any gas commodity. It is as limited and finite in natural abundance as fuel from the earth. That's why we always seek to enforce a fair exchange of the two. Thank you for the opportunity to voice my opposition to the application. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Andrews. Is there anyone else online or on the phone? Okay. Any last in person? Okay, seeing none. Following the conclusion of this public hearing, the Commission and the Division of Consumer Advocacy will continue with their review of Hawaii Gas's requests. The process will conclude with the Commission's issuance of its written decision in this matter. This concludes the public hearing for docket number 2024-0158. Thank you all for attending and participating. As noted earlier, you may also submit testimony after this hearing and after also the hearings that are to come on the Big Island. You can send it to us at our email, puc@hawaii.gov, or mailing address at the Public Utilities Commission, 465 South King Street, room 103, Honolulu, Hawaii, 96813. And please reference docket number 2024-0158. And with that, I will ask both Hawaii Gas and the Consumer Advocate to stick around. We're going to have like about a 10-minute transition before we start the next hearing. So anyone that has questions for them, please see them in the interim. And then as we get closer to about 6:05, if those discussions are still going on, we'll just ask to take them outside so we can continue with the Hawaii American Water docket. All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll stand adjourned.